You know, we say, if you don't hit the child, you hate the child. That's what the Chazal say. So how can it be today our society doesn't want you anymore to hit the child? The reason was, if you hit the child and you also give it love, the Torah doesn't only tell you to hit the child, the Torah tells you to kiss your child. We see so much love and kissing and loving each other in the Torah. How can you love HaKadosh Baruch Hu if you don't give love? I once was in a Besmedrischen, Shlomo Meisel Besmedrischen 11 Ellen Park, and I said, we need to kiss our children. Somebody where Mr. Nichbo kicked me out with a few other people didn't do nothing about it. Even the rabbi didn't do nothing about it, because he looks at what is Yiddishkeit, a strocke, a stamel. Kissing a child, kissing is associated with dirty things. Kissing is not associated with love and loving your child. I kiss my son every time I see him. Of course I gave him a patch once in a while years ago when he was a small boy. But at the same time I gave him a patch and I kissed him as well. I love him. I didn't give him a patch because I want to give him a patch. I gave him a patch to show that the point was wrong. But I loved him as well. These children, these parents who associate kissing, don't kiss their children and don't think they don't hit them as well. Don't hit them, but don't kiss them. They are teaching their children to be not to have any caring love. They don't teach their children to have love inside them. They don't teach them the right and wrong. They don't teach them love, which is the most important thing we need to teach to our children. And that's why we have so many children dropping out. Not only make sure that I kiss my children, I kiss my grandchildren. And I make sure that my children kiss their children. That's the most important thing. It's not filthy. It's giving over love. We have to give love to our children if we don't want them to drop out. Just giving them a little tap on the shoulder is nothing. Kiss them, hug them, love them. Show them that you love them like you kiss your Sefer Torah. Kiss your children, because your children are the future. The children are our Sefer Torahs. If we don't kiss them, then there is no love shown to the children, and if there's no love shown to the children, then they will drop out.
Itta Zimmerman, or rather Itta Zimmerman, yes, Nie Schlaf, has made 2 adverts about tribute to our volunteers, one in the news sheet and one in the Jewish news update. One is different than the other. I don't know why, but let's have a look at them.
Let me read you the advert. The management of the Schonsville Square Homes has pleasure to invite you to an evening of tribute to our volunteers on Sunday, the 14th of February, 2010 at 8 p.m. Guest speaker, Chief Rabbi Lord Sachs. Introduction, Lady Emilia Jakobowitz. In the chair, Rabbi Abedunne. I don't understand Mrs. Simmons, and I don't understand the people who are of Schonfeld Square or the management of Schonfeld Square Homes. Why do they always have to go to the Anglo jury who have got in the paper of London Jewish News this week, 49% dropouts have married out. I'm not talking about not being religious, married out completely. And years ago they were not more successful. They would even were, if they were as bad as now. They're going down and down. Why do we have to turn to Chief Rabbi Lord Sachs to give respect to our volunteers? What have they got with us? They're associated with the reform, and they're seeing their Yiddishkeit going down and down. And I'm so upset. Somebody else told me about this week. Why do we always have to go to the Goyim, not to the Goyim? We are Austrittsgemeinde. These are Polish Juden who don't understand the Hungarian and Oberländer way and Jäckische way of not mixing with the Freier. We are Austrittsgemeinde. We do not mix with these Chevre. They are not Freier. I'm not saying Chief Rabbi Sachs is a Freier. But he's associated with Reform. And not only is he associated with Reform, he's associated with his synagogues, have got people inside who don't keep Shabbos. How can he give credit to us? He can't be used to have his status of this country's chief rabbi over us. He has nothing to do with us. We have gone out of our way to be different. We were the refugee children. They didn't want to be associated with us. They didn't help us, and that's why we helped ourselves. Thank God we were successful. But we don't need to be a son. Emilia Berkovich does come from an Orthodox background, but not a United Synagogues background. But her husband was associated, and Rabbi Padva broke off relationships because the chief rabbi wanted, Jakobovich wanted to allow the reform to join the board of deputies. This is such a bad thing. This is not a joke. They are Jewish and we are Jewish. The board of deputies believe to associate people who don't belong to the Jewish faith, according to us. And we have to understand that we cannot be associated with them. And while Mita Simmons sees the right to bring her in to these, into our circles, and respect her as if she was part of our Yiddishkeit and our community, this is not right. And this has to be understood. This is where Pinter goes wrong with his schools. This is where Aberdina goes wrong. Aberdina is really a Haimish background. Aberdina, I know Aberdina personally, but to get a position in life, to be associated with them, I don't need that. We don't need these people. It's more important for us than an OBE or MBE and being recognized by the Queen, that it is more important to be Yiddish and to be recognized by God. People will say it's easy for you to say because you haven't had a chance of OBE or being introduced to the royal family and things like that. I've met the royal family, and there's pictures in the newspaper in 1977 when she was walking past in Cheapside. There's a picture always on television where I met the royal family. But I've also been asked to meet Royal Highness Princess Anne. There's a place called the Care Center in Wood Green, which has asked me to come along and be there when Princess Anne comes along to open up the center or something like that. And it's first of all, I'm not interested. It doesn't give me any tachlis or any purpose in life that I can help Yidden get nearer. It doesn't give me any purpose. What's it going to bring me anywhere nearer to my achievements that I can help people and inform them of what their rights are in carers association and just their rights in helping people? I don't see that that's got any benefit, so I'm not going. I didn't even answer, I didn't reply. I am coming, I didn't come, I just ignored the letter and finished. You shouldn't think that you haven't got the opportunity, because really the tachlis is, what are you going to achieve? That's what we have to understand. When I go to a shir, I will understand 1 point better, whether it's my Halpman's shir, whether it's David Franz shir, whether it's David Friedman's shir, whether I go to Schlesinger's shir, all kinds of shirim I go to, wherever I go to, whether it's Matra Eisener's shir, I go to shirim to understand, whether it's Hilchos Shabbos, whether it's Butz V'Cholov, whatever it is I want to learn, I want to understand the concept of our religious laws better. Sometimes it might be for giving over to other people, but it doesn't have to be for giving over to other people. It can be just for me to be more Jewish. The more I understand of our religion, the more Jewish I am. And this kind of way, which Issa Simmons is practicing, has no place in our Jewish society and no place in bringing nearer anybody to Yiddishkeit.